Hi guys, Marley here and welcome back to my channel. Today is the last day of summer and in this video I would like to talk about the September garden chores that I have to do here in my Zone 7 Kentucky garden, and we will have a little garden tour. September is the end of the summer garden here in my area, and usually I get so busy during this month, so the weeds usually grow tall, and I try to catch up on cleaning the garden by using a weed eater or using some other tools to clean up the garden. Like for example, in this area right here, I have successfully removed a lot of weeds. I've cleared the area and now I can see the eggplants. I know they're not looking that great, but they are alive. And after I clean the garden, I can finally work on rejuvenating these earth beds that have the eggplants, basil, zinnias, marigold, and some other plants in this area. Aside from weeding the garden, another important task in September here in my garden is to keep up with harvesting my vegetables. Let me show you this beautiful purple bell pepper. In the month of September, we usually have a lot of harvest. Like this one in here, look at this beautiful peppers. See that? This plant is just loaded with fruits. September is also very hot. In fact, today we had our record high temperature in the month of September. It is already the last day of summer, but the highest temperature today was 101 degrees Fahrenheit, and it felt like 109 degrees. Because of the high temperature and the high humidity in this area, another important task in my garden is to water the plants. If you don't water the plants, your garden will suffer. Here I'm showing you my water spinach plants, and I keep my garden alive by using a drip irrigation. So I have these little lines. These are the drip tubing that I installed earlier this season in order to keep the ground moist. The flowers like marigold and zinnias are in full bloom. Look at this beautiful marigold, pink zinnias. We have the light pink zinnias, red zinnias right here, and many others. And one important task in the month of September is to collect the seeds from these flowers. Now this one here is a dry zinnia flower that contains the seeds. And so I usually pick the dry zinnia flowers and store them inside my house. And this will be the seeds that will be planted for the next year's garden to have a lot of bloom for the pollinators and of course to make the garden look beautiful. Collecting seeds is very important so that we can have a supply of seeds for next year's garden. And look at this beautiful cucumber. It's a ripe cucumber. You can't eat this anymore. I left this cucumber on the vine to ripen so that I can collect some seeds for next year's garden. I also collect seeds from my tomatoes and peppers and some other plants like bitter melon, squash, and many others. This part of my garden is about done. All of the tomatoes in this area are already dead. We see some ripe tomato fruits that are ready for harvest, and I'm gonna need to harvest all of these ripe fruits and clear this area. This is my herb bed, and as you can see, we still have some herbs that are growing. Cilantro is looking good, but this one right here, this is the opal basil. The opal basil has bolted, so it is almost time to collect seeds from this plant. The dill from spring is already brown and dry, which means that it is dead. I collected seeds from these plants and also let the plants drop the seeds in the ground. And look at this. We have some dill seedlings in the ground that I will pull, and I'm going to transfer this into my herb bed after I clear this area of weeds. This whole area is my beans garden. We have the green beans here, yellow beans, we have the purple beans, lima beans, the painted pony, and many others. Some of these beans we let dry in the plant like this because we are collecting the dry seeds for eating and also for seed saving. We have started collecting the dry seeds from this beans garden, and there are still some other brown bean pods that we need to collect. I just want to show you how tall these corn plants are. These are the glass gem corn that I planted in the 4th of July. They're not yet ready for harvest, but there's still time because I'm gonna need to wait for these plants to dry, and we will be using this corn for a fall decoration. Now we are here in this raised bed that I originally planted with 7 tomatoes. This is my first garden bed this year, and I started this on April 15th. The tomatoes are still alive, although I did not really have time to take care of these plants, and we can see in here the overgrown sweet potato vines from the nearby earth bed that has invaded this area. So this bed needs to be cleaned up. Tomatoes need to be harvested. I need to trim this and clean the area for my fall garden. One of the most exciting things here in my garden is harvesting my sweet potatoes, and look at this whole area that is covered in sweet potatoes. You can eat the leaves of your sweet potatoes. You can put them in soup, saute, or salad, and also you can save them in your freezer. And I have a video on how to save your sweet potato leaves if you wanna see that. Here in this jungle, we have some ginger plants that are hiding. Let me see if I can show you part of the plant. So that's ginger, and there is another ginger plant right here. The ginger plants are actually looking great, except for they're hidden because of the sweet potato vines and the tomato vines that are covering them right now. This area is where I planted the peas and carrots. The peas and carrots have started growing. I'm going to show you some of the peas there. They have grown good, about 4 to 5 inches tall. And then let's look at the carrots. Look at this, guys. These are the carrot plants that we planted in here a little bit over 2 weeks ago. The next plant that I'm gonna show you is something that thrives in the heat. I am talking about okra. This is the Clemson spineless okra, and okra just loves the heat of the summertime. Of course, okra needs water, so we need to water our okra consistently so it will produce consistently. For example, here are some of the okras that are ready for harvest. So this is the perfect size for the Clemson spineless okra to be harvested. Don't wait for the okra to get so big. Like this okra pod in here was left on the plant in the purpose of seed saving. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 okra pods that are mature. I will let these pods dry on the plant before collecting the seeds. We also have the red burgundy okra, and this okra can grow a little bit longer than the Clemson spineless before it gets woody. So this one here is the perfect size of the red burgundy okra for harvesting. Yard-long beans. Yard-long beans are one of the plants that thrive well in the summertime. And look at this, guys. Look at this amazing yard-long beans that are ready for harvest. I also let some of the beans dry on the vine like this to save seeds. Now this one is actually ready for a harvest. I'm gonna need to collect the dried beans, see that? And this dried beans is for planting. This time of the year, the bitter melon is about done. It just got too stressed from all of the heat and all of the bugs that are in the garden. For example, look at this guy right here. Because all of my squash plants are gone, they have started eating the bitter melon. I have harvested a lot of bitter melon already, and I have frozen some of them, so I can let this go, clear the area whenever I have the time, harvest the rest of the bitter melon that are still on the vine, like these ones in here. And also there is actually one bitter melon that is hiding underneath all of these leaves. Another thing that we need to harvest is the mung beans. Mung beans are harvested whenever the pods are brown. And here we have plenty of brown mung beans pods that are ready for harvest. The peanuts were planted late. That is why they just started forming the flowers. So these peanuts will not be ready until 6 to 8 weeks from now. So I'm just hoping that we don't get an early frost that will kill the peanuts, because peanuts are a tropical plants and they don't survive the frost. Here is another basil plant. We have the Casper eggplants right here with a few white eggplants that are ready for harvest. And also we have this red Malabar spinach that have grabbed onto some of the peanut plants because I didn't have time to stake them. So they did their best to survive. They are climbing the peanuts now, just trying to spread everywhere. These ferns are the asparagus plants that I planted early this season. I planted 10 and 9 of them survived. Obviously, this area needs cleaning. I need to clear all of the weeds and amend the soil so that my asparagus will grow good next year. We still have a couple of the cantaloupe that are on the vine, and these are the cantaloupe plants that are volunteer, and we're just waiting for this cantaloupe to be ready for harvest. I let some of my spring carrots produce some flowers for seed saving. We still have some in here. Unfortunately, the little chickens decided to take residence in this bed, and so they have ruined some of the carrot plants, although they're still alive. So that is fine. This bed just needs cleaning up, and this will be good after I work on this. The watermelon is dead, and so I need to work on removing the vines from my arch trellis. On the other hand, my chayote squash is looking great. Look at that, guys. This chayote plant is actually ready for the fall growth. Chayote plant is a cool weather vegetable, and I just can't wait for my chayote squash to produce some fruits. This is the first raised bed where I planted the strawberries. The strawberries are looking good. I have started working on removing the weeds from one end of the bed. There's still some more that I need to clean. And then I'm gonna need to transfer some of these strawberries to another bed and to my strawberry tower. This month of September has been both really busy but so rewarding in the garden because we have harvested a lot of vegetables and fruits. It's time for a fall garden. I have started some seeds for my fall planting. The peas and carrots are growing, and we're gonna have to grow some other cool weather vegetables like pak choy, lettuce, the brassicas, radishes, and many others. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and see you next time!